Hey guys, welcome back here to another episode of Busch Gardens. I'm sorry it's been a while. I'm gonna get back into it now and try and get more videos put out. But let's get straight into this week's video. Hey guys, so as I said, I've been a bit busy. I've not had the time really to put any videos together. I've had the footage ready to make the videos. I just haven't found the time to actually sit down and do it. So I found a little bit of time today, so I'm going to try and go in now and just kind of show you where I left off from the last episode with this dive coaster. Some of you have given me some names for the ride. I really appreciate it. If some of you have more ideas for this a ride for names, then please leave in the comments down below. But the theme of this is a 1950s America, and I've gone with like this kind of garage, kind of petrol station, apocalyptic feel. That's the idea that I'm going with. So yeah, and I've kind of named the petrol station Rocket Juice. That's not the name of the ride, it's just kind of some theming. But yeah, that's the whole kind of general idea with it. I'm just going to go in and add, the kind of normal things that I do, custom supports, do some catwalks and that kind of thing. I love doing dive coasters because they're always quite a short layout, which means the support work's always done quite quickly. I'm not going to show you all of the support work, but I get quite a bit of it done in today's episode. Yeah, I love doing dive coasters, and I always think the layouts are fairly easy to do. You can always kind of create a dive coaster layout quite simply, because they always have kind of similar elements in every dive coaster. So I enjoyed building this one. It's just basically going in and polishing up the edges and making it look pretty now. I won't finish it today, unfortunately, in this video. There will be another episode where I go in and do the final little touches when I build like the... Actually, I don't know if I do them on camera or not, because I did quite a lot of work without realising off camera. Sometimes I go in just to have a look around the park, and then I end up tweaking stuff, and then 2 hours pass, and I realise I haven't actually filmed. I think I did that a little bit with this coaster, with some of the making the footers and that kind of stuff. But I got quite a lot of it on camera. Actually, at the beginning, I was doing the finishing up the little billboard that the track passes through there, and I forgot to film that. But I just wanted to have like a big kind of billboard up in the air that's lit up, that's kind of broken, and then the track passes through it at the end for like a near miss element on the coaster. So I'm starting the custom supports now. I'm just kind of laying down the basic structure or the basic area where the poles want to go. Sometimes I just do straight poles and I go back in and edit them later on with some angled pieces, etc. But while I'm building a dive coaster, I might as well talk about some dive coasters and my experience with dive coasters. Dive coasters I love them. They're one of my favorite coasters after the inverted coasters. I've been on a few, not all of them, but quite a few, a good selection, and I'll talk about my favorites and my least favorites. And so my favorite one has to be Secret at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. It's big, the drop's really great, and I love the it has the original restraints. I don't like the vest restraints on these coasters. It ruins the experience for me. The Secret has the old school ones, which means you really come out your seat and you really feel like you are falling down that vertical drop. And I really love that coaster more than I thought I was going to love it. I didn't ride it until recently, actually, maybe a year and a half ago. And it was really one of my favourites. And from riding that dive coaster, I was really excited to go and ride Valraven. And when I rode Valraven, I was so disappointed. The ride was great and the layout was it was really cool. A bit longer than the other dive coasters. But the restraints killed it. Like, they were so tight on my shoulders and on my legs that I really didn't even feel like I was just the vertical drop. Everything was just spoiled by those restraints, and it was a real shame, really, because I think that coaster has the potential to be really something. I just wish it had the old school restraints on it. But nevertheless, it's a good coaster. It doesn't, compared to the other ones out there, it wasn't great. And I mean, I had such high expectations for it. So ones in Europe that I've done, Oblivion, obviously, at Busch Gardens. At Alton Towers was the first one I ever rode. It's the original one. It's great. It's really short, but that drop's really cool into that tunnel. I mean, it looks tiny, but I wouldn't let it, put you off with thinking it's going to be rubbish, because it is really cool. It's a really good drop. I love the tunnel coming out. It is really short, like I said, but it is still fun. Then I've ridden Kaka at Hyder Park. That was also fun, also very short. But that was also really cool. It's got some really cool theming, especially when you kind of come down the drop into the mouth of the Kraka. That's really a cool one. I did go to Liseberg in Sweden, but unfortunately, their Valkyria was being constructed at the time, so that wasn't open, unfortunately. But I do plan to go there again in the future and ride that ride. Europe, where else have I been in Europe that has a dive coaster? I've not been to the one in Gardaland, unfortunately. Baron, there we go, at Efteling. That one's also great, quite a small one as well, but really cool. And I mean, the vertical drop on Baron is really small, but if I compare it to Valraven, it was way more fun and way more thrilling just because of the restraints. And the theming on Baron is really, really, really epic. So that makes it also a better experience. But yeah, I really love the dive coasters. One I've always wanted to ride is Griffon. I've not had the chance to, but maybe in the future I'll get out to that part of America and I'll get a chance to ride Griffon. But I do love dive coasters, like I said, and I have heard that they've changed the vest restraints now on B&M coasters, and that Valkyria does use the new ones. Apparently they're not so tight, so I'm interested to go and try that at some point and actually see if it makes a difference to the ride experience, because for me, like, having those vest restraints just spoils it. And it's the same for me on the wing coasters as well. And also, I'm interested to know if any of you have ridden Banshee, the inverted coaster. How is that with the restraints? I've not ridden Banshee either, and I'm interested to know how it is with the tight vest restraints, if it makes the ride experience completely different or not. So if any of you have ridden it, let me know down below, because I'm interested to know. So here I'm just kind of doing an American diner in the park. Of course, this area is quite a small area, and it's more of like a passing area rather than a whole area zone with lots of footpaths. It's just got the one bridge, as I thought I needed like a food area just to kind of make the area a bit more full. So I've gone with an American diner, and I'm using the Cyberpunk mod set here for some neon light strips, that kind of thing, and for the light up neon letters. The diner's quite small, but I'm going to do like a seating area, like a terrace around the side. Kind of the terrain changes height, so it's nice to have a terrace that is kind of up in the air, and it has more of like a view from the side. So that's what I'm going to do there. And then I'm going to make this diner kind of the entrance area of the American 50s area. But like I said before in another episode, I did want to do a flat ride, and I have had some suggestions. But it's just I'm really struggling for space, and you'll see as I go on with the build and how I do a new area and how a lot of the land gets taken up. There's just really not really any room for one. Maybe I can squeeze one in once I know kind of the final layout of the park, but for now I'm just going to go with the coaster and the diner, and that's basically going to be this area, and I'm just going to try and theme it up and make it look really cool. But I'm going to go in and do a lot more theming in the next episode with finishing up the dive coaster with the supports. I'm going to add some theming around the bottom of the drop, etc. And just kind of neaten up the pathwork a little bit. But yeah, thanks for joining. Sorry it's been a long time. I will try and get another episode out quicker than I have with this one. But thanks for watching. Just stick around. I'm going to just make a little sign here for the diner and for the entrance area. And I've put a couple screenshots at the end of the video, like always. But if you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And leave any comments or questions down below at your free will. And I'll see you all next time for another episode. Stay cool. See you later. Bye.
To become secure, I have to have value. I want to be worth something. I want to be worth enough to attract the attention of others.